Just when things were starting to calm down after his heartbreaking death, boom! A brand new clip hit the internet, raw and straight up chilling. It's the last known footage of King Von lying on the ground, and it's got the whole internet buzzing all over again. This video allegedly shows the moments right after the shots rang out. No filter, no edits, just straight chaos. It throws a whole different light on those final moments. Fans are reeling, and for the people who really knew Von, it's like ripping open an old wound that never healed. But the real question hitting everybody right now, why did this stay hidden for so long? What's in that video is making folks look at the whole situation in a brand new way. So, what really went down that night? When the news broke on November 6, 2020, that Chicago's rising drill star King Von was shot and killed in Atlanta, the hip-hop scene stopped cold. Devon Daquan Bennett, the man fans knew as King Von, was gone, and nobody could believe it. But what actually happened outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge that night? That's what we're digging into now. We're talking leaked footage, eyewitness breakdowns, and the aftermath that had the whole game talking. Earlier that night, King Von had been posted up at the Opium nightclub before sliding over to the Monaco Hookah Lounge on Trinity Avenue in downtown Atlanta. Somewhere between 3:20 and 4 a.m., everything flipped. And what went down next would change lives forever. This wasn't just some random club scuffle. The beef was deeper. Von repped OTF, Lil Durk's crew, while on the other side that night was Quando Rondo, who's tight with NBA Youngboy and his Never Broke Again crew. That connection, it turned out to be key in figuring out how this whole thing exploded. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, things kicked off with some words flying in the parking lot, but it didn't stay verbal for long. In seconds, it turned into a full-blown fight, and then shots. Leaked surveillance later showed Von dressed in all white, swinging on a man believed to be Quando Rondo.
Tell us what you mean in the game, on the rap game. You telling, okay? That sick as bogus. Shit, what else? Yeah, it be just and then we choosing side. We like say you don't with a nigga, but you with another. But I guess he'll that too harder than he with you. So he don't fuck with you. You'll start seeing niggas on following you and shit on Instagram and shit. Stop talking to you and shit, niggas, you know. But you'll see niggas be getting closer. You be like, what the? Like that's gay.
Cops never confirmed it was Rondo, but that first punch, it lit the fuse. That quick scrap triggered a full-blown shootout. Bullets flew, 6 people were hit. Von and another man, 34-year-old Mark Blakely, also from Chicago, lost their lives that night. That early confusion just made the rumors spread even wilder. People online were going crazy trying to piece together what really happened. Then came the bombshell. Actual surveillance footage of the shooting dropped, and TMZ got their hands on it.
King Von, bro! What's going on, boy? King Von in the hood, how we doing?
The clip showed the start of the fight, the moment it all popped off, and the chaos that followed as Von got rushed into a car that peeled off toward the hospital. Seeing that video made the whole thing feel even more real. It wasn't just headlines anymore. People could actually watch how fast it all went down. It blew up online and sparked non-stop debate. Word from people close to Quando Rondo, real name Taquian Terrell Bowman, is that he was dozing off in a car when Von's crew rolled up. Tension hit instantly. Reports say Von came at him hard, swinging first and setting it off. In seconds, that heated moment turned into a deadly shootout. And just like that, King Von was gone at 26. But let's hear it straight from Quando himself. In a sit-down with Angela Yee, Quando told his side of the story. He said he wasn't looking for beef, just chilling in the parking lot when he got blindsided. According to him, someone, said to be King Von, came at him out of nowhere. That's when Timothy Leaks, aka Lil Tim, stepped in. He was with Quando that night, and according to reports, he's the one who pulled the trigger that ended Von's life. Lil Tim's side of the story, he wasn't out to catch a body. He claimed he acted out of loyalty, not planning. That angle may have played a big part in why the charges against him ended up getting dropped later on. But that night, it spun out of control real fast. What started as a quick squabble turned into a deadly shootout, all caught on multiple videos that hit the internet like wildfire. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, 6 people got shot in the madness. King Von was one of them, and his injuries were critical. Right after the shots rang out, nobody even knew who pulled the trigger on Von. Some of the first whispers online claimed it might have been the cops, since both on-duty and off-duty officers were nearby and rushed to the scene. But APD cleared that up fast. They said Von was already hit before police even got there. The first shots came from that initial clash between the crews. After getting shot, Von's people threw him in a car and sped off to the hospital, but he didn't make it. He passed not long after. Another man, 34-year-old Mark Blakely, also from Chicago, didn't survive his wounds either. 3 more people were hit and rushed to the hospital with different levels of injuries. Then, the next day, November 7th, 2020, Timothy Leaks was arrested and hit with a felony murder charge tied to King Von's death. Lul Tim wasn't just arrested, he was laid up too, recovering from gunshot wounds at Grady Hospital after getting hit during the same wild shootout. But what really hits hard is this. Just days before the tragedy, King Von was all smiles, celebrating big. His album Welcome to O Block had just dropped on October 30th, 2020, and he was riding high. There's even a clip of Von just 2 days before it all went down. And watching it now, it feels straight up eerie. Seeing him alive, laughing, vibing, knowing what was right around the corner. It's like time froze. He was only 26, and his career was finally blasting off. Everything ended in a flash over what looked like a spur-of-the-moment beef. No long build-up, no warning, just a fast break into violence that stole a rising star too soon. But the legal side, that got even messier. In August 2023, things took a shocking twist. The murder charge against Timothy Leaks was officially dropped. No indictment, no trial. The word was that the evidence wasn't strong enough, or maybe the case had some holes in it. Leaks' lawyer, Noah Pines, confirmed the case was tossed. But the exact reasons? Still a mystery. And that just added more fuel to the controversy already surrounding Von's death.
In my head, I'm like, why somebody with my little brother, you feel me? It's like, that's what's really going through my head at the moment when it first popped off. I'm like, damn, like, but I'm gonna protect the person though. It's like, any brother I have, or any sister I have, or any family member I have, if anybody is bothering or doing something to anybody who I love, I'm gonna protect them regardless.
Before Atlanta, Von was leveling up fast. His raw lyrics and gripping stories about life in the Chi had fans tuning in heavy. He was just getting started. Von's album, Welcome to O Block, named after the infamous Parkway Gardens where he grew up, was getting love all around. Tracks like Crazy Story and Took Her to the O had already put him on the map as one of drill's hottest rising voices. He was turning pain into poetry, and the streets felt it. Now, the exact reason behind the drop charges, still a mystery. Court docs didn't lay it out clear, but some legal experts say Georgia's Stand Your Ground law could have played a big role. That law lets someone use deadly force if they feel threatened, and that could have been enough to shut the case down. But when those charges got tossed, it stirred up a whole storm. Von's fans were furious, saying justice slipped through the cracks. Meanwhile, Quando Rondo's side took it as proof that it was self-defense all along. But this wasn't just about one fight or one night. To really understand why things exploded, you gotta look deeper at the deep-set tension between two major rap camps. Lil Durk's OTF, Only the Family, and 4KT, 4 King Trey, repping NBA Youngboy's crew. This beef didn't come out of nowhere. It built up over time. Personal shots, music industry drama, street ties, all of it mixed together into something explosive. A lot of the drama behind the scenes wasn't just music beef, it got real personal. According to heavy online chatter, one of the big things stirring the pot was romantic drama. Asian Doll, who had been closely linked with King Von, was also rumored to have had past ties to NBA Youngboy. Then you had Janaya, another woman who had history with both camps. These cross connections created tension that wasn't just private, it eventually spilled out into the public eye. But the problems didn't stop there. On the professional side, things were getting heated too. Word is King Von tried to link up with NBA Youngboy for a collab, but the offer got turned down. In the rap game, that kind of rejection doesn't go unnoticed. When two stars are climbing fast and aiming for the same spotlight, something like that can feel like a slap in the face. And then there's the street side of it all, because this beef had deep roots. Lil Durk's OTF, started back in 2010, is tied to Chicago's Black Disciples gang, especially the O Block set. Von grew up right there in Parkway Gardens, aka O Block, and was fully tapped in with that crew. Meanwhile, 4KT, tied to NBA Youngboy, had its own web of street alliances, and they didn't mix with OTF's circle. The lines were drawn long before that night in Atlanta. Von's mindset was clear. Loyalty came first, no questions asked. In his eyes, too many people in the rap game jumped sides for clout or convenience, not real loyalty. That belief shaped how he saw moves made by NBA Youngboy's crew, and probably fueled some of the fire behind this whole feud. But this wasn't just about Von and Youngboy. The web of beef ran deep. OTF had ties with artists like YNW Melly, T Grizzly, and TBG, all of whom had their own friction with 4KT. There were even reports that YNW Melly and NBA Youngboy got into a physical clash at one point. That just added more layers to the drama. It wasn't always direct shots either. A lot of it played out on social media. Von was known to troll, and folks say he aimed some of that energy at NBA Youngboy. That back and forth allegedly sparked responses like Youngboy's track Dead Trolls, which fans took as a shot back at Von. In hip-hop, those online jabs don't always stay digital. When disrespect goes public, it can heat things up in real life, fast, and that's exactly what happened. By the time November 6, 2020 rolled around, all that tension was already bubbling. So when King Von and Quando Rondo, who was signed under Youngboy's camp, crossed paths outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge, it wasn't just random. After King Von's death, the beef between OTF and 4KT didn't die down. It exploded. Things went from bad to worse, especially in the music. NBA Youngboy dropped "Bring the Hook," and one line had everybody talking. "Oh, Block Pack get rolled up." That bar hit like a shot fired straight at Von's legacy. Lil Durk clapped back without even saying much. Just posted a photo of Von on Instagram with a caption that felt like a clear challenge to 4KT. The tension wasn't just in the songs. It was all over social media too. Youngboy followed up with "Know Like I Know," a track filled with bars that fans took as direct threats toward Durk. It turned into a digital war, both sides flexing stacks, throwing shade, and dropping cryptic messages that only stirred the pot more. Other artists started picking sides, with names like Lil Reese, NLE Choppa, and 21 Savage publicly showing love to OTF, partly because of Durk's deep roots and pull in Chicago's rap scene. But the real shocker came in October 2024. Lil Durk got hit with federal charges. The feds say he was involved in setting up a murder-for-hire plot to take out Quando Rondo, supposedly as revenge for Von. That plot, according to the indictment, led to the killing of Rondo's cousin, Xavier Lil Pop Robinson, back in August 2022. 5 other OTF affiliates, Kevin London, Grant DeAndre, Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones David, Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston, were all charged in connection with the alleged plot, and the legal heat didn't stop there. In October 2024, the estate of FBG Duck, real name Carlton Weekly, who was killed in 2020, dropped a major lawsuit on Lil Durk, King Von's estate, and OTF Records. The claim? That they profited off Duck's death through negligence and shady actions. The suit even brought up a wild accusation that King Von allegedly put $100,000 on Duck's head. Let's break down the timeline that led to all this chaos. Way before November 2020, OTF and 4KT were already clashing. Personal drama, denied collabs, and non-stop sneak disses on social media had the tension boiling. It wasn't just about rap, it was turning real. Then, on November 6, 2020, it all exploded. King Von was gunned down outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta during a fight with Quando Rondo's crew. Just a day later, on November 7th, Timothy Lil Tim Leaks was arrested and charged with Von's murder. But that was just the beginning. From 2021 through 2022, the beef turned even more vicious. Diss tracks dropped like bombs, and the internet turned into a battleground. Every post, every bar, every live, it kept the fire blazing between both sides. Then in August 2022, tragedy struck again. Quando Rondo's cousin, Xavier Lul Pab Robinson, was shot and killed in Los Angeles. Another life lost in this deadly cycle. The charges against Timothy Lul Tim Leaks were dropped, but the chaos was far from over. By October 2024, Lil Durk was back in headlines, and not for music. He was arrested, accused of masterminding the hit on Quando Rondo that led to the death of Rondo's cousin, Xavier Lul Pab Robinson. That same month, another major twist dropped. The estate of FBG Duck filed a lawsuit against OTF. They claimed the crew cashed in off Duck's death and called out what they saw as negligence and misconduct. The deeper story that came to light after Von's death, it showed this beef wasn't just about bars, it was personal. In an emotional sit-down with Angela Yee, Quando Rondo shared his side. He said he was blindsided by the clash with Von's crew, claiming that before it all went south, he actually had a solid relationship with Lil Durk. According to Quando, he and Durk had mutual respect, and even said Durk never charged him for a feature, which is rare in the industry. That history made everything that followed even more heartbreaking. What this all showed was how fast things can spiral. What starts as music rivalry or ego shots can turn deadly, especially when street ties and past drama get pulled into the mix. This conflict, still far from over. Rumors been flying about possible peace talks, with names like Kendrick Lamar even being mentioned as someone trying to mediate behind the scenes. But with Lil Durk tied up in serious federal charges and the FBG Duck lawsuit still in motion, the smoke hasn't cleared yet. Not legally, not in the streets. And it's not just about OTF and 4KT anymore. The whole rap game's feeling the impact. The industry's split and artists are treading real careful. Some, like 21 Savage, openly rock with OTF. Others, like DaBaby, been trying to stay neutral, avoiding getting pulled into the fire. But in a scene this charged up, even silence can be taken as a side. Collabs have slowed. Trust is shaky. It's like walking a tightrope just to drop music without stepping into the crossfire. Since King Von's tragic death, fans and followers have been deep in the rabbit hole, pushing all kinds of theories. Social media is lit with speculation, cryptic messages, and what-ifs from people close to the situation. One of the biggest and most divisive rumors? That Von was set up, that his death wasn't random, but part of something pre-planned. There's no solid proof, but that hasn't stopped the theory from spreading fast, especially in online spaces like Reddit. Some fans believe the whole thing was staged, that Quando Rondo might have purposely provoked King Von to spark a situation where violence could be written off as self-defense. One of the things fueling this theory? An old Instagram story clip that allegedly showed Von and Rondo vibing together, hinting that at one point they were cool. That sudden shift from friends to enemies got people asking what really went down behind the scenes. But even more explosive, the theories pointing fingers at Lil Durk. Yeah, some fans have gone as far as to say Durk might have been jealous of Von's fast rise and somehow played a role in the setup, working behind the scenes with Rondo. It's wild, but that's what some are pushing. Supporters of this theory reference moments like Durk's post after Von's passing, where he mentioned a fan-made chain of Von and captioned it, "Get it back in blood." That line, tied to the chain Durk himself had gifted Von, felt cold to some, like it held a deeper meaning. Then came the bombshell. Durk's federal arrest in October 2024 for an alleged murder-for-hire plot targeting Quando Rondo. While the official narrative says it was retaliation for Von's death, some fans flipped the script, seeing it as more proof that there was something deeper, something darker going on. Social media's been the fuel. Platforms like X, formerly Twitter, lit up with posts pulling every thread. One viral post by a college kid on October 27, 2024, hit over 694,000 views, tying Von's beef with Youngboy to that fateful fight and to Durk's arrest. And the theories, they just keep spreading. On October 28, 2024, a viral thread exploded, racking up over 2.5 million views. The topic? Breaking down possible links between Von, Rondo, and Durk's alleged involvement in the chaos. But here's the thing. As loud as these theories are, they're still just that, theories. There's no official confirmation, and most of the claims are built on speculation, not hard fact. Still, when charges against Timothy Lul Tim Leaks were dropped in 2023, it only added more fuel to the fire. Some took it as a sign there was something deeper going on behind the scenes, while legal experts chalked it up to simpler reasons like weak evidence or procedural missteps. And then came a bombshell from Asian Doll, Von's former partner. She jumped on X, formerly Twitter, claiming, "The police said Tim ain't kill him. The police did." That statement lit the internet on fire, even though it directly contradicts what the Atlanta PD reported. Officials had already stated Von was shot before cops even got to the scene. But still, the post added another twist to the already tangled web of rumors, suspicions, and blame. King Von's stash of unreleased music has kept fans locked in, and it's still making waves. With hundreds of tracks that never officially dropped, leaks have been popping up nonstop. Places like SoundCloud and Reddit have turned into hotspots for these rare cuts, where die-hard fans swap links, drop rankings, and put newcomers on game. A Reddit thread from February 2024 asking for favorite unreleased Von songs pulled in 85 comments, with fans listing track after track like they were sharing buried treasure. Among the most hyped leaks, songs like NASA OG, Heartless, Hard to Breathe, and some highly anticipated collabs with Lil Durk, including I Am, No Auto Raincoat, and Takeoff Champ. These picks give a glimpse at how deep Von's vault really runs and show just how much of his talent never made it to the official platform. Still, not everyone's thrilled about the leaks. Some fans worry that the steady stream of unreleased songs hitting the net could mess up official posthumous drops. Others, though, see it differently. They believe these tracks are keeping Von's voice alive, giving fans a way to stay connected to an artist who was just getting started. This new release marks the latest push to officially share more of King Von's unreleased heat with the world. It follows two major posthumous projects, What It Means to Be King in March 2022 and Grandson in July 2023. The fact that fans are still hungry for his music says it all. Von didn't just leave tracks behind, he left an impact. He wasn't just another rapper in the drill scene. His voice, his raw storytelling, and his ability to paint the reality of street life made him stand out. Even now, years after his death, his presence is still felt in the music, in the culture, and in the conversation. But King Von's story hits deeper than just music. It's one of struggle, rise, and tragedy. Before the fame, Von was caught in the system early, locked up for armed robbery as a teen, then doing a 3-year bid in Cook County from 2014 to 2017 on murder charges, which he later beat. His journey from the cell to the studio was more than just a come-up, it was hope. A shot at breaking the cycle that trapped so many young lives in cities like Chicago. That's what makes his death at just 26 hit so hard he was on his way up and then gone. King Von's story is a hard-hitting reminder of how fast everything can flip, from rising to the top to falling into tragedy. When the weight of the streets follows artists into the spotlight, nearly 5 years after his death, Von's legacy still hits heavy. His voice, his style, and his raw truth continue to echo through the culture. From official albums to leaked gems still floating online, his music gives us a glimpse into his world, unfiltered, unpolished, and unforgettable. It's clear Von wasn't just making noise, he was building something real. With Lil Durk's trial set for October 2025 and legal battles still unfolding, the story around Von's death isn't over. It's still playing out in real time. And fans are still watching, still debating, still mourning. If you felt this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button. Drop a comment with your thoughts or favorite unreleased Von track, and subscribe for more deep dives into hip-hop's most gripping stories. We got more heat coming, so make sure those notifications are on. Catch you in the next one.